Oh,
You, you,
hello.
you, you. Okay. Well,
You.
there
It's not me. It's you.
you.
Welcome to
Hello.
Everything and Nothing.
Hello.
I'm
Welcome.
Barb.
And I'm not Barb.
Exactly. Never will be. Unless you chop off your peanut. No, I'm only kidding. Anyway.
I'm not Barb.
But then you'd be
But-
Chrissy, not Chris. I don't do it. No. Sorry, everyone. I'm yelling at my Lily. No. No.
Hmm.
Uh,
No.
no.
Okay. No.
She's still doing it anyway. It's all right. Whatever. She's chewing on the
Okay.
pillow. I
He,
just
he's right here, so I thought I would include him in the proceedings.
the profile.
And he's giving me the,
Oh.
you know. Anyway, so what wondrous victuals did you whip up this morning?
Oh, well, I made my lemon cakes.
Mm,
I made my lemon crumble with oats topping for the cake for later. I will be whipping up the cream cheese and lemon filling. I will be making the blueberry compote for the top.
which is what's compost? No.
Yeah, yeah, it's
Com-
compost. Um,
what's compote? Compote.
it's just they it's just cook. I'm cooking down the blueberries with the sugar and cornstarch to make it like a thick. It's a filling.
Like a gel
It's like a pie
filling.
filling. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Um, with fresh blueberries and everything. So I gotta just make that. I already made the lemon curd yesterday, homemade lemon curd.
Wow.
Um, oh, I just finished baking my last batch of Dutch chocolate cookies.
God, is it
Um,
Dutch chocolate cookies?
then later I'll be like after we do this, I'll be making a which I call it's my version. Years ago, they always made a lot an icebox cake, and usually that would consist of graham crackers dipped in or just graham crackers, but now you could dip them in a liquid.
Mm.
So I'm gonna dip mine in chocolate milk.
Wow.
And I'm making fresh whipped cream, and I'm gonna make homemade pudding, chocolate pudding, and then I'm gonna mix the whipped cream and the pudding together, and then I'll layer it out. Once I dip the graham crackers in the chocolate milk, I'll lay them down in the pan. I'll get my mixture and pour that on top. And then I have like a marshmallow, like a liquidy marshmallow. I'll make it, it's in the refrigerator. I'm gonna drizzle that on top.
Mm.
I'm gonna do some cocoa powder and mini marshmallows. And then
Wow.
I'm gonna crumble up chocolate covered graham crackers. I'm gonna crush them on top and then repeat the layers over again. And I'm gonna call it s'mores tiramisu.
That's cool. That is really cool.
Because tiramisu was about dipping the cookies. There you go.
Cool. That's
Yeah.
great.
So I'm gonna make a s'mores dessert for them. I'm sure they'll like that. And
I'm gonna text you my order right now for delivery. Just on my
and then this morning, Tommy came home. I said, I also made him get some extra lemons because I'm going to decorate with lemons. Um, around the lemon crumble cake, blueberry crumble. I told him to pick me up. He wanted bacon, so I made bacon. I made eggs, eat for me and Lil. Made myself toast, and then I made um homemade, home fries.
Oh,
The
that's great.
peppers and onions. I made them thinly sliced. I did a whole video. I put it
Oh,
up
nice.
on my page. So that everything came really good. So we
That's
had
good.
a nice breakfast. And
That's
then
good.
tonight I told him for dinner, like I reversed it. We were gonna have the chicken tonight with the baked potato and nah, I'm gonna do the chicken, but I'm gonna make wraps. Another summer
Oh, great.
dinner. Just shred the chicken in a nice whole wheat wrap, lettuce, tomato, avocado. I'll make a dressing and we'll have that tonight for dinner. Something simple, something cool, nothing too heavy. Lily, give me 1 minute.
Okay.
No,
What do you
that's
want to
it.
say to our guests, Angie? Our
Oh,
audience? Anything?
coming.
Where are you going? Come sit down.
From the other end.
Come sit down. And we're
Joy.
waiting for Barbie patiently. No, I'm impatient. I'm waiting for Barbie. Hurry up. Come on. No. There's Tangi again. Has to always be nearby. 21 years old. Precious boy. You know, you said something before, you mentioned about blueberries. And I love blueberry pie.
Right.
I may have mentioned. But it's weird how I've had it at different places. But if it gets too runny, you know,
Mm-hmm.
it has that, as you know, it has that tendency. You have to thicken it up. You can't let it get, blueberries are that watery, kind of.
Right. They gotta be, I
Yeah,
mean, they can't, a blueberry, honestly, yeah, you don't want it watery where it's dripping out juice.
yeah, yeah.
But you gotta, I mean, it's very hard to keep anything contained perfectly. There are mistakes that are made on even on the best bakers, but for the most part, when it comes to baking, you can't predict how the fruit is gonna, work its way in or out of what you're putting into it. And the best way to do that and to keep it like a thicker, more gel-like consistency, so it's basically a nice cut into the pie and nothing like oozes out, you have to use the cornstarch.
Cornstarch, yeah.
But it has to be spread out throughout, like I'm gonna make it's basically the same thing.
Hmm.
It'll be a little bit runny because it's not going in a pie, it's gonna be a
Right.
topping. The
Is
cake
there
I'm making is
anything?
like a trifle.
Is there anything else that bakers use instead of cornstarch, or is that just always the staple to thicken it up?
As far as I know, there might be something else that they use. As far as yes, a lot of them will use in certain recipes, which I don't like, is yeah, I don't like it. Not when it comes to making traditional pies. They need to stop changing that, and I don't like the consistency of Jell-O.
Okay.
They could use a clear Jell-O,
Okay.
and I don't. I see
Gotcha.
some of these cakes, especially like Asian, like in China. They
Yeah.
look beautiful.
Mm.
Because they take this Jell-O consistency, they color it, and they put it on top of a dome.
Mm.
They stick fruits in it. It looks really pretty. It looks fake. That's not edible to me.
Yeah.
And then adding it on top of an angel cake or something, it looks
Yeah.
beautiful. I don't like that Jell-O consistency as
I
a
was never a big fan
caterpillar.
of Jello. I was more of like a pudding guy,
Yeah.
but but I have to. Something occurred to me, and I wanted to segue, but I wanted to ask you this. And I'm gonna go back into your childhood. Go back, Barb. Go back into your childhood. But when you moved to Georgia, you were a young teen or preteen. I forget what exact age you
I was
were.
like, I just turned 11.
11. How much closer are you gonna get? Um, why don't you talk for a while? But I wanted to ask you, what was it like going to a new school in a new state in a new part of the country? Were you
Oh,
welcomed uh, as a
yes,
northerner?
I was a kid, so I was in elementary school. It was very difficult, very, because I was so scared, so as much as I could be outgoing when it comes to meeting. Now I'm a little bit different because I'm older. I still don't like that first initial meeting new people type thing. I get like embarrassed, but I'll do it. Where when I was a kid, I would get upset and I didn't want to, and I don't want to, cry. But you go to school, you have no choice. Very nervous in the stomach, walking in, very different compared to Brooklyn. Walking into the classroom, you got a totally different crowd of children. I mean, you're talking New York to Southern Belle. and they all stare as the teacher's greeting you, and they're like, take a seat, and everybody's like staring at you. It's hard as a kid.
Yeah, this is
Um,
Barbie.
right. And they all did, oh, and some of the girls were like, wow, you got a cool name. And then some of the boys were all right, but they were also like boys. Boys will be boys.
Did they make fun
Um,
of your accent?
yes, they did. A lot of them were like, go back where you came from, Yankee. And yeah,
Wow. Ooh.
yeah, they talked about the war, the
Oh
Civil War.
God.
It was always, no
Yeah.
matter where we went, if we had to answer someone and they heard our accent, that was it. Fucking Yankee, it was bad.
Yeah.
Some people just didn't take it lightly. But then a lot of them, most of them, loved it.
Yeah.
Most people, most of the kids, the teacher, they got a kick out of it.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, and a lot of my friends, they would ask me, like, what does that mean? And I would tell them, and I hit it off with which is she's my best friend. She's one of my best friends, and we didn't like each other at first, and then she had no choice but to take me to the library, and we had to do a book report or something, and I didn't know how to do the book reports. Totally different. The learning was held, it was just backwards. It wasn't what we were learning here.
Hmm. Hmm.
Anyway, so her and a couple of other girls came in, and she taught me, like, she told me what I had to do, like on the index cards, like a rough draft and take notes and all this stuff. And I remember her turning around and going, wow, you got a really nice handwriting. And I was like,
Hmm.
oh, to me, I don't think so. To me, it was sloppy. And then we just started to talk little by little. And then we started to laugh. That was it.
Hmm.
We became best friends. And I'm still friends with her today.
That's nice. Yeah.
I'm still friends with her today, over 40 years worth of
Wow.
friendship. And that was the best time of my life as a kid. And then even when I came back here to Brooklyn, I was 15 going on 16. And again, I moved on the block where I met a million people. A million kids lived on that block. My age, a little younger, some a little older, but we all got along, and it was one of the best times of my life.
And that's cool. What I was going to segue into was like, all right, so new school, new part of the country, whole new landscape, obviously, Brooklyn to Georgia. It's for you. You want to get it?
Yeah.
But um, what about, so going back to food, was there any, I don't know if culture shock is the right word, but was there any, things memories you have that was like, this is what they serve? Like, obviously, you probably never experienced, Southern cooking
No,
or eating out somewhere.
yeah, they did not cook like we cooked. Not that I'm saying they didn't want to, like they would try to make macaroni and stuff like that, but they didn't, they weren't Italian. They weren't
Right.
from our culture. Very different. Um, Lots of barbecue food, obviously. You got to put the bang bang on the grill, and they just cooked
There
a
it is.
lot of
I've been
it.
waiting for that. I've been waiting for that. Here we go.
They, they, yeah, a lot of smoker, old fashioned, made themselves, um, home cooking. Like her mother, I told you this once before, her mother used to grow the tomatoes or get the tomatoes, and they were beautiful. And then she would crush them and put them in freezer bags and freeze them. But then in the morning, in a skillet, an old fashioned skillet with the lard, there she was with the lard. She would make this concoction with flour and the tomatoes and salt and pepper. And I don't know what else she put in it, but it would become a paste,
Hmm.
like a really like a thick tomatoey paste. And she'd put it in the pan. It would turn pink because
Right.
of and I think like a buttermilk or something. Something. She put something in that. And my girlfriend doesn't remember how her mom made it, but we used to get up on a Sunday morning, and our mom had scrambled eggs. If you wanted regular eggs, she'd have them. Everything was in a plate. Bacon, sausages, pancakes.
Oh my God.
She had grits, and I
Oh
never
yeah.
had grits before in my
Grits. Yeah.
life. And I was like,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
ain't eating that. And then I loved them.
Right. Yeah.
Grits, um, toast, and she homemade buttermilk biscuits, fresh out of the oven.
Oh my God.
She would open them up, and then she would take the tomatoey concoction she made and put
Oh,
it like over the biscuits, and we were
nice.
like, and it was just that was Southern cooking.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
she's just, and her mother was beautiful. Like I would always admire her mom.
Yeah.
Um, Wonderful person. Very, and her father was very, very much the Southern man with the deep. And he used to call my girlfriend Monkey. And I brought that up to you before too in an old podcast. And it, Monkey, you know what to do it. He just, we were like, huh? What did he say? You know, you couldn't even understand him. He was, you know, his face was beat red brown. His show from where his his
Yeah.
t-shirt landed,
Yeah.
his arms were black. They were red. His leg,
Yeah.
but then he took off his shirt. He was milk white, but he was
Yeah.
Indian. So he had that Cherokee and that
Yeah.
Southern, and the voice on him. His name was Donis, and he had such a Southern drawl, such a Southern accent, and he'd be like, "Talk, man, get my monkey, monkey," and it was like, "Oh my God!" And get for that man, children, put the more money, and you got it, you had to love it, you
Can you
had to love
translate that for me? That
it.
man come inside.
But I loved them. They were my second family,
Wow.
and and then again, you always get your people that made the fried chicken, like the
Yeah.
homemade Southern fried chicken, and they made the Brunswick stews, and they just cooked a lot, mashed potato, like
Yeah.
really nice Southern corn on the cobs and
Yeah.
nice salads, Southwestern. Yeah, I can't explain it. It was just a little bit different. But once
Now,
they
when you came back, what foods did you miss the most?
like that, I missed her breakfasts.
The breakfast. Okay.
Because for the most part, my dad started to teach himself how to paint.
Hmm.
So he was, like I told you, he was sloppy. So he was, for hours, he started teaching himself how to paint like an artist, like actual paint. He used to watch Bob Ross, and then he got into the whole paint. And I have some of his paintings here. Um, so he did that, but he also started picking up baking and cooking. And when he first started, everything tasted like shit. Bad. And he used to get so annoyed, so mad, but he was persistent and he kept trying and trying and trying until he made things his own. And then he became like fucking phenomenal. Like we were
Yeah.
like, holy shit.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of products that they do not sell that we were used to. We couldn't get it anywhere.
Yeah.
And it was horrible because we were like, where the fuck are we getting like Pecorino Romano? And
Yeah.
we just had to like use whatever we could get out there, sauce wise, and the meat and everything. We had to get used to the meat
Like
different.
for example, how about the pizza?
No, my father made his own pizza.
Okay.
And it was true. When he made it, it was delicious. But the water is different.
Right. That's a big thing that people don't realize. It's the water. It's one
Water
of your common ingredients.
has a lot to do.
Put in the dough.
Yes,
Yeah. Yeah.
absolutely. And we always knew that. But whatever he did and however he learned, he
Yeah.
made do. And we just enjoyed every bit of it because it was close to our home. And everyone that came that we met that was from the South loved my mom and dad's cooking
Yeah.
because they weren't used to the
Right.
traditional Italian or
Of
the
course. Right.
Irish American,
Yeah.
mashed potatoes and steak type. They just
Yeah.
cooked it different. Not bad, but it was a nice experience. It was a wonderful time in my life.
Yeah.
Um, just to be there and meet different people, and like I said, I'm still friends with
Yeah.
Holly, my girlfriend, and
It's funny. Whenever I go to the markets, I always look at the food magazines. Me being a foodie,
yeah,
but And one of the ones, I think my mom even used to get a few of these. One was like Southern Living,
Right.
Southern Cooking, but you don't see one that says Northern Cooking. Though we have our
No,
own
you don't.
style. So give me
You
some of
don't.
that good old Northern Cooking. What? No. Um, but yeah, there is something about the. It's almost like there's an attitude of it's a picnic. It's a summer picnic, but at your kitchen table
Yes.
because you have everything that's provided. And you mentioned about the breakfasts. Um, that was my first experience when I went down to Georgia. My first place going to the South, and uh, biscuits, biscuits in the gravy,
Yes.
and I mean going out to a diner. That's the first thing they put down. I'm like, what's this? And I'm like, oh my God, I can get these all the time, you know.
Yeah.
And the grits,
Right.
which I liked, um, you know, and then it's funny. My uncle, when he moved down there, he was in New Jersey and all of his life, but he went down later in life after he retired. But he bragged about this. He never ever ate eggs in his entire life.
Wow.
But he went down there. Eggs were, you
A
know,
big thing. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. It's just like you want eggs with that eggs. And he still was
I'll
like,
have sunny side eggs,
yeah,
eggs on the side of my scrambled eggs.
yeah. And I'll have the yolk
Poached
egg
eggs.
cocktail, to drink. But like Rocky, crack the eggs over the glass, and
Yeah.
just guzzle it down.
Yeah.
Um, but where I'm gobbling up, frickin' omelets. I think I tell you that one time when I was in New Orleans
Hmm.
and I went out to breakfast, and people are like, "You pig!" I had a 6 egg omelet, and it was they call it crawfish.
Oh,
I went crayfish. It's crawfish, and it was delicious. I have to say, it was delicious. But and it was with the hot sauce, of course.
right.
But this thing, it was like a Fred Flintstone steak. It tips the car over. They put this thing on the plate, to cover fold it over the plate. You
Yeah.
know, um, but and that was just like the norm.
Right. And that's
You
what
know,
they did too. Crawfish. They did a lot of fish fries, especially
yeah,
after church on a Sunday, because I used to
yes,
babysit. Me and
yeah,
my sister. My sister started at first, and then she brought me along with her a couple of times. And then when she moved back to Brooklyn, they had asked me to take over, and it was a couple of hours on Sunday. I would watch the kids at the church. They had
hmm,
like a little daycare upstairs.
yeah,
And then a lot of times they would have a fish fry. So everything was about the fresh, potato salad, the
yeah,
homemade
yeah, yeah,
bologna salad, and
yeah, yeah,
the fried
yeah.
fish and the crawfish and the this fit. And it was like, wow,
Yeah,
everything was just,
yeah.
it was good though. A lot of, I don't
And what
know.
about things like dishes that I'm not very familiar with, but like okra and
Yeah, I mean,
rhubarb?
right. Like we never ate that unless we went to someone's house and they made it, but that wasn't a part of our cooking thing, but that was a part of their, people out there. That's what they did. They did a lot of, uh, help me, the hell is it called? Like a lot of black eyed peas, and they
Okay.
made, um, a lot of people, I don't know why, and it has nothing to do. What are those called? Those greens,
Collards?
collard greens. Yes, a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah, I like
They,
those. I do
they
enjoy
used
those.
a lot of collard greens and black eyed peas,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
there was
yeah.
just a lot of different and delicious. Nobody used to say it wasn't good. It was good.
Now I want it. I want corn on the cob. I want mashed potatoes. I want the biscuits and the
Yeah, they
gravy.
used
I'm
to
really
make
getting
like some friends of ours made a lot of like a corn salsa.
yeah.
And they used to roast the corn on the cob where it was blackened, and
Mm.
then they would cut it off the cob and put it in the
Yeah.
salad, and it was so fucking good. It was just so
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Yeah, and fortunately they like their lard. They cook a lot with lard and the fat, and then they cook a lot with
So that's like the Crisco.
yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
white in the
Yeah.
can. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And they deep fry a lot of stuff,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and but you know, it was different. We cooked whatever we knew how to make,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and that was
I cook
it.
everything in olive oil, so it's so like my thing, you know. Um, but that's cool. Yeah, I've been wanting to ask you about that. We just got our little warning, get the hell off. But
We still got 8 minutes. Calm down.
you know, you have 8 minutes. Um, that's cool. That's really,
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah, it was a nice time. Different, totally different. And we had such a pretty house. It's a shame how it all went to shit,
Yeah.
basically. But good memories. And I can't even, I think my sister has it. My father painted our house. He painted the yard, everything. He painted the full, and it was so pretty. And I
Are you
wish
paying the lawn?
he painted everything.
You paying the yard. Look, we have blue grass, literally. Um, now, was it emotional and difficult to leave to come back to Brooklyn?
Yeah, it was. And we moved the day of my girlfriend's birthday.
Oh, wow.
And it wasn't planned that way. It just happened that way. And in the beginning, we were young still, so it was very upsetting for her. It was very upsetting for me. But you know, and then we used to write each other. When I
Yeah,
first came back, we used to write. I still have
right.
some letters.
Yeah,
Hold them up.
that's what you did. You
We
didn't pick up
wrote
the phone.
no,
You wrote letters.
no,
Yeah,
we wrote letters, and if we did pick up the phone, it was to ask for permission because back then you had to pay for long distance.
right,
And my father goes, "Yeah, 5 minutes," you know, and it was just a different time. Now it's like,
right.
but yeah, good old days.
Yeah, wow.
The good
And what
old
was
days.
your best friend's name in Georgia?
Holly,
Holly. Okay,
Holly.
that's
Yep,
nice.
yep.
That's cool.
My buddy.
Yeah,
I miss her. And you know, we always talk about that too. And it's like, I can't wait to get there to see her.
that'd be great. Yeah,
You know, like she came for my 20th birthday, my mom had for me, a 20th birthday party.
yeah.
And at that time I didn't see her for 5 years. Now, from 20 on to 52,
All
it's
those years.
33
Wow.
years I haven't seen her.
Yeah. Well, that's going to be a
No.
great reunion. That's going to be a great
Yeah,
day.
I never met her children, nothing, or her grandchildren. I only seen them on social
Uh,
media.
okay. Wow.
Spoke to them, but never got to meet them in person ever.
That's gonna be a fun time. That's gonna
Yeah,
be great.
yeah.
That's cool.
So we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool. Well, why don't we take a segue into our next episode in the
sure.
future? This is nice, calming, relaxing, fun, reminiscing. Um, always kind of in the vicinity of food. Food's always, always on my mind.
Yeah, me
But
too.
it's
Food's
all right.
my
It's a good
best
thing.
friend.
Food is a great unifier. I always say that, and I
Yeah,
believe in that.
it is.
But so it is everything to some. It's nothing to some. Everything and nothing. Going back, but anyway. So we will talk again.
Yes.
Thank you, everybody. I hope you when 5,000 years from now, when they dig up this computer out of the ground from somewhere and they find this relic and they put it into their system and you know they probably have a different language at that point. Yeah, right. You see a translation. What the hell is this shit? No.
Yeah.
What language are they speaking? You know, how come they only have two eyes? No.
Yeah. And one mouth, thank God. Thank
God.
God.
All right. So, but all right. So we'll talk again.
Absolutely. Thank you, everyone. I hope you have a wonderful day.
All right. Thank you. Have a peaceful day.
You too.